Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris and today I'm going to be looking at semi-final 1 of Eurovision 2025 and I'm going to be giving you my pre-rehearsal predictions of what's going to happen. We've seen in previous years this can completely change after rehearsals and also on the day itself. You never really know what's going to happen. As you can see on the screen, I have a tier list going from definite qualifiers down to definite non-qualifiers. For those that don't know, I will be in Basel on the ground with Chris Calling, and we will be recording numerous things, including interviews, reactions, discussions about the atmosphere, showing you what it's like there in Basel. That will all go on the ESC Norway channel. We're working in cooperation with the ESC Norway team, who unfortunately can't be in Basel. So if you want to see our experience in Basel on the ground, be sure to subscribe to ESC Norway and also subscribe to Chris Calling. Both have amazing content on their respective channels, and on this video, a like and a subscribe would do me a lot of favors. This would be great going forward as we hit the height of Eurovision season. Okay, so let's go. Let's dive into these qualifiers, definite qualifiers, likely qualifiers, borderline qualifiers. First of all, I want to show you very quickly the odds. I don't put a lot of faith in the odds after last place in the odds qualified last year in semi-final 2, being Latvia. So this year we have Croatia in last place currently in the odds, pre-rehearsals. And you can also see that Sweden is top with a 95% chance of qualifying. We go right down to 10, which is San Marino, which is 64% chance of qualifying. And then there's a 20% gulf or so down to Azerbaijan with 43%. And also remind you of the running order. This is from a Facebook page. We can see the running order. We have Iceland opening, Cyprus closing. Up to 7 is the first half according to the draw. And then the second half runs from Norway right through to Cyprus. Also remember first semi-final last year, 6 songs out of the first half qualified and 4 out of the second half. Although statistically it tends to be more out of the second half, or 5-5, it's not unreasonable to think that perhaps 6 could qualify out of the first half. It's not out of the realms of possibility. So there we are. Now let's get through some of the definites. I have 3 definite qualifiers. I have Sweden and Ukraine. Sweden, obviously, because they're one of the favourites to win the competition. Ukraine is going onto the radar at the minute, but it has a 100% qualification record. I don't expect that to go away. I think that they will definitely qualify. So I think it's safe to assume that those 2 will qualify. The third country I think is definitely qualifying is the Netherlands, Claude with C'est la vie. I think we can count on a definite qualification for the Netherlands. Netherlands running order is also really good. Then I'm going to jump around a bit. I'll try to do this in some kind of logical order. So let's see if I can manage it. I think I'm going to look at the likely non-qualifiers. As I said, the odds at this stage mean nothing to me until I see the staging. But let's start with Portugal. I've seen it live in Amsterdam. I've seen it live in Madrid. I've heard it on the studio version. I very much enjoy the studio version. I can listen to it. It's not popping for me on stage. The Portuguese delegation can make it pop. They have shown in the past that they're very well able to do that. But for now, it's a likely non-qualifier. That could well change with the staging. I just think it's not in the best running order, and I think it could get a bit forgotten. Then let's go to Azerbaijan next. I think this is a song that a lot of people that enjoy the Britpop genre, the Daft Punk kind of indie music, can enjoy and get behind. At the same time, it also has Portugal and Ukraine in the same semi. So it's got band competition there. So therefore, yeah, I feel like Azerbaijan could actually also miss out. So for now, I'm putting it as a borderline non-qualifier. Again, could change with the staging. What I've heard, I'm not sure if it's correct, is it's the same general staging team as last year, and that doesn't inspire much confidence in me in how they're going to stage this, because it really needs to stand out. Okay, so then let's move quickly on. I'm leaving Azerbaijan as a borderline non-qualifier for now. Again, it could change. Let's go to Poland. I think Poland is likely qualifying. It's got a bad running order. It's number 2 in the running order. But Justyna is just such an amazing performer. Brings charisma on stage. This is a spectacle. And I don't expect much difference to what we had in the national final in terms of what the people are doing on the stage. Maybe some enhancements, let's see. But for now, I think Poland is, despite being in the second position in the running order, I think it's likely to qualify. And the only reason it's not definite is, well, there are 2 reasons. One is the running order, and 2, the second reason is because the song itself is maybe not as accessible to a lot of people. The performance is great, but the song, I think, could hold it back. But I don't think enough to not qualify from this semi. Then Albania, I also think, is a likely qualifier. It could go either way in terms of how it's perceived in the final, in terms of is it going to go the Ulvaham and Ea, like Norway 2024 and then Spain 2023 route of not being kind of people not getting this blend of tradition and modernity in the songs, or is it going to go the way of Sham, Ukraine 2021, and people really enjoy it? Personally, I see it more likely to go the Sham route, but I think it's likely qualifying out of the semi. It also has a great running order, so I think it has everything going in its favor to qualify. I would love this to, be top 3. I would love it to win, honestly, the whole thing. Estonia, likely qualifier. Even if there's no difference to the SD Lau performance, it's just going to get casuals votes. It mightn't be as high as some people think in the televote when we see the final results, but in the semi-final, I mean. But I still think it's safely qualifying for the final. That's Tommy Cash, of course. And Italy is voting in this, and I know people like to say, Estonia is not going to get anything from Italy because the Italians are all mad. Some Italians are mad, sure, but I think Estonia is going to get some points from Italy. But they need to get points across the board, and this is one of the entries that I think is going to get points across the board. So I think it's going to be fine. I also think Norway is a likely qualifier. The only reason that it is not definite for me is that it is in slot number 8, which is statistically it was, I'm not sure if it's still this year, but it was the worst running order in semi-finals in the second half. Kyle is an amazing performer. I think people will remember it. I don't think that it risks non-qualification. I think it's safely through to the final. Yeah. That's all I have to say about Norway. Okay, now we are into more tricky territory. We have 3 places left, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 countries. Okay, let's get rid of one. Likely non-qualifier, Croatia. I know that this is going to be a completely different staging. Marco has talked about it in interviews. I've heard Marco live in Amsterdam and Madrid. I'm rooting for him so much, and I hope that I can bump this up when we see the performance. Because I would love this to be the dark horse that qualifies. It just would be such a great thing to see Marco in the final because he has such talent. He's great charisma. He's down to earth, yet so focused on his performances, his music. I get that this song is a love it or hate it song, but then again, so was this song from Bambi Thug last year, Doomsday Blue. I think because of that divisiveness, there is something that could push it up when we see the staging. So let's wait for that. But for now, for me, it's likely non-qualifying. Pre-rehearsals. Iceland. So we have Belgium, Cyprus, Iceland, San Marino, and Slovenia. Okay, actually, let's just try and do this in order. Belgium. Okay, every year, everyone says Belgium is the shock non-qualifier, and yet, yeah, I in 2023 everyone was like, that's not qualifying, and I was like, yes it is. So every year this happens where you hear Belgium is non-qualifying. I'm putting it as borderline because I personally don't like this as much as 2024 or 2023 pre-rehearsals. I really like Red Sebastian. I think that his vocals are incredible. And the performance is just, he's gaining in confidence as he performs more in the pre-parties, for example. So I think it's going to be fine. It'll go through. But it is one of those songs that if there's something that takes you out of the immersion in this kind of trance party, it could maybe not attract as many votes as people think. I still think it's going to qualify. Then Cyprus. A week ago, I would have had Cyprus down as a borderline non-qualifier because I felt like we hadn't heard much out of the Cypriot delegation. Anything we did hear, there was something going wrong. And it seems so physically demanding. They talk about the staging potentially having scaffolding. It's going to be Sergio Jaén staging it. It's going to be a really, really tough ask. Then through this week, I've kind of changed my mind a little bit. I see Theo Evan in Madrid with Sergio Jaén, obviously working on perfecting before going to Basel the specific choreo to tell this story that needs to be told from Cyprus, because if the story is not told clearly, I think a lot of people will be completely lost. I personally really like the studio cut of the song, but I know a lot of people that don't enjoy it and find it a little bit grating as well. But last week I would have had it as a borderline non-qualifier, but after this week and seeing also Theo, I don't know how to pronounce it. He was flying from Madrid with Sergio Jaén to Basel. So I know now that they're closely working together. I'm not expecting anything like this, like Doomsday Blue from Cyprus, to be clear. I'm expecting a different story to be told in a different way, showing off Sergio's versatility. But I do still expect it to be high quality. And Cyprus have the budget for it. They've always managed to somehow produce something that attracts a lot of televotes. And it's last. So all those factors lead me to think that it's going to be a qualifier. Iceland. Opening the show. Personally would love to have this in the final. I love Vibe. They're great. I was resistant to it at the start because I was like, no, because it reminded me of Jedward and I'm Irish and don't get me started. But actually meeting them and seeing them through this season, I've really enjoyed them as people and as performers on stage. They really bring a lot of energy. It's a great start to the semi. It's a great start to Eurovision 2024. But straight after that comes Poland. And therein lies my problem. I think that Poland could overshadow this. So, yeah. Because we know Poland's going to go all in on the staging. And I think it'll completely wipe people's memories of Iceland. Not everybody's, but enough that I don't think it's going to make it at the minute. So, borderline non-qualifier. We're left with two, San Marino and Slovenia. Personally, I can see a case for both, and I can see a case against both. The case for San Marino is that it's a very upbeat bop that I think a lot of people, especially in the Med area, are going to be attuned to. We have Italy and Spain voting here. We also have Albania voting, obviously, and as well as Portugal. I even think when you look at Netherlands, Norway, there's a possibility of points there. And so it's Slovenia too, of course, it's bordering Italy. The case against, San Marino really does not attract many televotes in general. It has to be something special, and at the pre-parties that I was at, I didn't feel like it was anything special. It's 3 guys standing in a row in masks singing while the DJ is like hopping behind the decks, like he's hopping like between fires. So that's my case for and against San Marino. I don't think the staging will work for San Marino if they do that. So that's my concern there. Slovenia, obviously really tough running order in between Poland and Estonia. That's case against. It's really low in terms of all of the scoreboards that you would look at. It's another case against. It's a ballad and it comes early. Another case against. So on paper, yes, I can see why the odds are saying what they are about Slovenia. On the flip side, at pre-parties that I was at, and especially in Amsterdam, I could see how much this directly emotionally hit people, not just around me, but talking to people afterwards. This song really, if it's done well on stage, it really hits and it will do well. And I think it could qualify because of that. So, but weighing up those two against each other, fun versus heartfelt, early in the running order versus late, it's very, very knife edge for me. But I am going to put Slovenia in the borderline qualifiers. And I'm going to put San Marino in the borderline non-qualifiers. That's where I think things are for now. As you see, I have no definite non-qualifiers. I think any song can qualify out of this semi-final, depending on the staging and what we see in the run-up. It's only 10 days until the 13th of May, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in the run-up to that. So there's where I stand right now on semi-final 1. Let me know your thoughts. I know, everyone will have different views and agreements. I can bet the majority of the comments below will be Belgium is not qualifying. I'm already predicting that because it's always the same thing. And I think a lot of people will want Iceland to qualify. But it's a public vote, so it's not limited to the fandom, it's not exclusive, it's open to everyone. Well, not everyone, only the people that can vote in this semi, which includes me because I live in Belgium. And Switzerland can vote and I will be in Basel, so if I have a Swiss sim, I'm guessing I can vote there instead of Belgium. So regardless, my semi-final that I'll be voting in is this semi-final. And personally, I think if Croatia gets the staging right, my votes are going to Croatia. I'm assuming I can't vote for Belgium because that's my SIM card. So out of the rest of the countries, my votes will be going to Croatia, I think. If the staging is done right, because I've seen Marco's vocals and his charisma and his performances in London from watching online, Madrid live, Amsterdam live. I just think it's amazing. I think he's a great performer. I love Portugal's song. I can leave it in the semis. I don't need it in the final. San Marino's song, not for me. It's fun, but I don't need it there in the final. Iceland I would love to see in the final. I'd love to see them in the final. The Azerbaijan song I really, really like as well, but it's something that's been done before. So also I don't need that there in the final. Slovenia doesn't need my vote, I think. I think it's going to be fine. I'm relatively weirdly confident that Slovenia is going to qualify. I don't know why. Cyprus I think will be fine. I'm putting all my eggs in Marco's basket to bring it home for Croatia and qualify for the final. So that's my hope. As I say, as it looks now, very unlikely that Croatia will qualify. But let's see how it's staged. Let's see what is done and how it differs, because we know it's a complete change up from Dora. Portugal, same thing, they staged really well. So that's why neither of those can be definite non-qualifiers for me. So there we are, my semi-final 1 predictions before rehearsals. Let me know what you think down below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, Subscribe also to ESC Norway to follow me and Chris Calling in Basel as we update you from there. All right. Peace out. Have a great weekend, and I'll be back soon with semi-final 2.